Hey everyone, today we're going to cover Social Security parents' benefits. Now, when a lot of people hear this, they automatically think of benefits payable to a parent of a child if the other parent retires, becomes disabled, or dies. But that's not what I'm talking about today. Those are called mother's, father's benefits or child and care benefits. The parent's benefit is a benefit that's payable to a parent who was financially dependent on their child, which has died. For example, let's say that I was helping my mom. Maybe I was paying some of her bills, giving her a place to live, or some other form of support. And then I died. As long as the level of support I was providing her met the threshold, she would be entitled to receive a benefit off of my work record. This is the survivor benefit known as the Social Security parents benefit. And it's one of the least known Social Security benefits too, and the number of people receiving it reflects that. As of October 2022, there were only 874 people who are receiving a Social Security parents benefit. 874 total. For comparison, there are nearly 2 million children receiving a benefit from a deceased parent. So some of the low numbers could be due to the fact that it's not a well-publicized benefit, which we hope to change today. Outside of the Social Security website, very little is written about this benefit. So in this video today, we're going to attempt to clarify the rules and talk about what's required for eligibility, and then talk about the amount of benefits an eligible parent can receive. So let's get started by answering the question, who is eligible for a Social Security parents benefit? Well, to receive these benefits, there are 7 eligibility requirements, and to be eligible, a parent has to meet all 7 of these requirements. The first requirement is that you have to be considered the parent of the deceased person. This may sound fairly obvious, but when you consider stepchildren and adopted children, the rules aren't always straightforward. For purposes of the Social Security parents benefit, someone is assumed to be the parent if they were the natural parent of the child who died, or adopted the child who died before that child turned 16, or are the step parent of the deceased child, and you marry the deceased child's parent or adoptive parents before the child became 16 years old. The second requirement is that the deceased child must meet the requirements to be fully insured by Social Security. This generally means that they just had enough work history to qualify for their own benefit. And then the third requirement is that the surviving parent must be at least 62 years old. The fourth requirement is that the parent cannot be receiving a benefit that is larger than the amount they could receive from a parent's benefit. So their own benefit can't be greater than the parent's benefit. The fifth requirement is that the parent has not married after the death of their child. That invalidates it. The sixth requirement is that the parent was receiving at least one half of their support from the child at the time he or she died, or at the beginning of any period of disability that child had that continued up to their death. Now, to meet the one half of support requirement, the deceased child must have been making regular contributions for the parent's cost of food, shelter, routine medical care, and similar necessities, and the amount of those contributions equaled or exceeded 50% of the parent's ordinary living cost, and the parent's other income from sources other than the deceased child that's available for their support purposes is one half or less of the parent's ordinary living cost. In other words, if I was giving my mom $1,500 a month and that was one half of her support, but she had a pension coming in that was $4,000, that's not going to cut it. The income that I'm paying her had to be at least one half, and she couldn't have any income sources that were greater than that one half. The seventh requirement is that the parent must show proof of dependence within 2 years of the child's death. The 2-year period for filing proof of support can be extended by an unlimited amount if there's a good cause for the claimant's failure to report it. Down below, I'm going to put a Social Security webpage that has a discussion of this good cause and that talks about some of the conditions that may permit one of these extensions. So now that we've established the eligibility requirements, let's talk about how much the Social Security parents benefit is. This one is fairly simple. If there's only one parent, the parent can receive 82.5% of the deceased worker's full retirement age or disability benefit. If there are 2 parents who will receive benefits, each of those parents can receive 75%. Just be aware that a parent's benefit is subject to the family maximum benefit rules, and I have a video on that where I cover the rules that you need to know. Now, if you want to apply for a parent's benefit, you're going to have to call the Social Security Administration or visit an office. This isn't something that you can do online just yet, and I would recommend being prepared before you go. There's a long list of questions they'll ask you, but thankfully, you can find all of these questions on the website, and that way you can be prepared up front for them. And I'll be sure to link that up, along with some other great resources, down in the description. Thank you so much for watching.